Hi, I'm Lisa and I'm from Life Balance Essentials. I just want to go over today some really basic tips for when you first when you first start with a new inbox, or you can use these tips to update your current inbox. And they're just little processes that help to make streamlining your email management just that little bit more. So there's nothing too advanced here, but these are just the little basics that some people aren't even aware that are available. So I'm just going to share my screen. And here we go. Oh, yep, let's jump into these first. Okay, so we are going to go through Gmail and Outlook. So there'll be little tips. As I say, these are very basic and they're just one or two things on each Gmail and Outlook, but they're little things that can really change the whole way you see your see your email management. The first thing I wanted to show is categories. These categories in Gmail are actually really beneficial. So having these set up and making sure you check them. A lot of people forget that these categories are here, but I am going to show you an easier way. So you've got your social, your updates, your forums, and your promotions. So social, clearly, this is where all your social media notifications come through. Updates are really important. This is where Gmail recognizes these are emails that have come into your inbox that you might have to deal with straight away. It's actually quite intuitive and generally quite accurate. So I would recommend checking your updates before you even go near your inbox each day. Then you've got forums and you've got promotions. Promotions, you can generally go through and almost delete everything that's in your promotions. And this is, if you're going to have an unsubscribe day, this will be where it's at. So, the thing I want to show, this is the tip, this settings button. This is the one thing that everyone should be doing before they start with a new inbox. When they want to come up with some new ideas around how can I clean up my inbox so it just works for me a little bit better, this settings button is everything. So when you first open it, it comes up with a few basic options. So where your reading pane is, your start items, what your priorities are in your inbox. So do you want to see, default generally is the most current email that's come in. And then you can change things as you need, per your requirements. So the next thing to do is click here, see all settings. This shows you absolutely everything, and you've got all these categories up the top here that anything you can change in Gmail, it's all here. And this is so important. And it is worthwhile taking half an hour when you're first starting, or if, as I say, if you want to go through and do it after you've set up your inbox, it is worth the half an hour to take and go through all these different options. But one of the things I want to show today is in general, and it's in here. So conversation view. When we start with a new client, we always turn the conversation view off. The reason we do this is around search function. So the search function in emails it's utilized by us regularly, like more than daily, like 20, 30, 40 times a day. So we want to make sure that that search function is given the best possible chance it has. By turning the conversation view off, you allow that search function. You can then use one particular word that you might recall is in that email, and that will only bring up those emails with that particular word in it. If you have the conversation view on, what happens is you could be talking to one particular person every day via email. So what happens, over 2 or 3 years, if you've got the conversation view on, you've got all those emails in that conversation, in that thread. So doing a search will mean you've got to go through 2 or 3 years worth of potential emails to find that particular email that you're after. If you turn the conversation view off, it will only bring up those specific emails that it relates to. So we definitely recommend turning conversation view off. It may make your inbox look like you've got more in there, but it actually it accurately shows what is in your inbox. That is the best part about the conversation view off. It's actually easier to go through and tidy up your emails with that off. The other thing, sorry, we went through the categories before. This is what I do want to show you now. So you can see the categories here, but if you go into inbox here, you can choose what you want to see. So one of the things we want to see is updates. I generally, at a minimum, suggest you do promotion, social, and updates. Now, what that does, so let's save that. Now go back into your inbox. And you can see they're all showing up here now. So they're still showing down there, but this now gives you an alert. It's a much better reminder that you need to go through and check these each day. Now, before we start with the client's emails each week, we start with these first. Updates, we have a really quick look through. Is there anything urgent? That's the first one we look through. Socials, we will generally delete. Promotions, we will generally file or delete. So it depends on what we're needing to do on the occasion. They are the two things in Gmail that I recommend you change straight away. But as I say, spend some time, go through all the settings. Now I'm going to bring across an Outlook box. Again, that main thing I suggest is your settings, but with Outlook, you don't have so many options. However, again, this other tab is really quite intuitive. It's different to Gmail in that it doesn't flag anything that it believes is important, but this does flag the things that it thinks are not important. So it's real. And the other thing with the other tab is that if you move something from other into focused, it will generally, and it will ask you on random occasions as well, but when you move it into focused, it will, so it hasn't done it on an occasion, but there will be times where it does say to you, would you like us to these particular emails, make sure they go into focused all the time rather than other. So it's pretty good at recognizing what should be in other and what should be in focused. And clearly focused is like your updates one, which has the more important emails in it. Again, you will go into settings, and again, I will say turn that conversation view off, especially in Outlook. With your search function in Outlook, there's so much. Outlook doesn't offer as many pretty little things, pretty little, how do you put it? Like, pretty little options, I guess, as Gmail, but it's a very effective email management tool. So again, we're going to turn the conversation view off, which is here. Show email group by conversation, show email as individual messages, and save that. That's what I definitely would go through first thing. So again, you just go through and there's a whole heap of changes you can make within Outlook to make your email management just that much smoother. So I'm not sure why compose and reply is taking a while to come up, but there are, that's where you set up, here we go. You can set up your email signatures in here. You can, do all kinds of things, but definitely go through all your settings. As I say, this was just a basic tutorial. Go through all your settings that before you start using your inbox, or spend a half an hour tidying up what you currently have. So thank you for going through the basics. As I say, they were they were very basic. It was never meant to be anything more advanced than that. But before we do the inbox detox, we definitely recommend that our clients, that our members go through and do that first. So hopefully this helps in some small way. And we have more tutorials that we'll be building on, and we do have a couple already through YouTube now. So feel free to like, reply, subscribe, and hopefully we can bring you more hints and tips around life admin.